Recreational golfers are very important to every golf club and golf pro. They represent a market essential to the future of golf. In this film, you'll see a wonderfully innovative approach to coaching golf with women. It offers empowerment, enjoyment, and expertise. The PGA is pleased to endorse the work of Alastair Spink with Here Come the Girls.
So if we get two groups start on the first, one group walk up and start on the second, and then we're off. Is that done?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. I think one of the big things, one of the questions I get asked so much is just, why is Here Come the Girls so popular? Why is there 300 people involved? I think a lot of it just has to do with empowerment. I do see quite a lot of ladies-only sessions, and they're marketed with a real fun and social element to them. But sometimes I just wonder whether that is, maybe just not treating women as equal and kind of nearly having them as being second best, and that we're not going to coach you quite the same way as we will do as men. So we'll give you coffee and we'll make sure it's fun and quite informal. But the women that we see in Here Come the Girls, actually they want to be really good and they want fun, but that's not necessarily always their drive. They've got some reasons why they want to do these projects. So what I'm really always trying to do is to instill confidence and competence, but really empower them.
Well, this has been great for me because it's always been such a laid-back approach to a new sport for me, that you feel comfortable in a group environment, having a chat and offering productive advice to each other, constructive criticism. Whereas normally I would have expected to learn a sport as being much more regimental and more one-on-one. So for me it's been just a nice communal way of learning.
Yes, and I think it's there doesn't seem to be a lot of pressure to perform or do really well. What we've come out with is some tips of how to improve our game going forward. And it could be something as simple as lining a golf club up with the tips of your toes to your target, and then when it works, that's great. That's something you can take away to the golf course.
Yeah, you're not afraid to make mistakes, and it's just been fun. And if you're enjoying yourself, you're always going to get better at something.
And when we spoke this morning, this is kind of the next stage. So we've done the playing bit, so the play becomes the most important bit, and then we work out what skills we need to look at based on what we saw when we played. So obviously I just observed and watched, didn't really get too involved. So I've got my own ideas of what I think you might like to work on, but I'm really interested just to hear what your feedback really. So how do you think that went? What do you think went really well? And anything that you felt maybe you need to work on?
My short game.
Okay.
It's striking the ball accurately but not hitting it so far.
Right. With a putter as well?
Yeah. Did you notice that? Very subtle, Alastair, very subtle.
Well, not like to lead too much. But...
Yeah, all of my short game.
Right. Okay. Are you quite happy with how you're getting it long game wise?
Oh well, it's not perfect all the time.
So I think one of the things when you're working in a group is you can get feedback, and when it comes to aim, I think that's really important, because all I need to do is to say to you, we'll go away and work in pairs, choose a target, player A tells player B what that target is, and player B feedback whether you're aiming at it or not.
So I find aim difficult because I'm a tennis player and all my shots tend to go to the left.
Yeah.
So it's quite good to try some aiming. Yeah. Perfect! That was fantastic! Did you see what you did? Your feet were pointing pointing exactly to there, and that's where your ball went.
And my inner voice is constantly telling me to keep adding information, show them how much I know, make them think I'm a good coach. Whereas actually, silence, absolutely golden. Really difficult to do. My mind is whirring sometimes, making myself say nothing so that I listen to what they have to say. Hayley's aiming in the right place though.
Well, it's almost like to me like you've got it set in your mind, but you're not actually looking at the way you're aiming. I don't know if that's right or wrong.
Yeah, no, you could be right. I haven't looked at that flag.
Yeah.
I think women are very good at perhaps because they're a lot more sensitive. They're able to maybe pay compliments as opposed to give you negative feedback. It's much more of a positive feedback.
But equally, I think on the other hand, it's much easier to take criticism of another female who's, you know, if you make a mistake, they've made a mistake as well. You don't feel that, and also we all have a bit of a giggle, don't we?
Yeah.
We're able to help each other because I know we've both got relatively young children, and actually I spend quite a lot of my time encouraging the children and telling them what to do. And I'm not saying we're sort of treating each other and talking down, but it does help you. It helps you tell people and show people what to do when you've got children, doesn't it?
And going on from what Jenny said, we obviously have the same time restrictions, having to get back to pick the children up from school and so on. If you were playing golf with people who didn't have children, they wouldn't really understand that you have to do the round within 2 hours or whatever. So that kind of thing, we can't really play at the weekends because we're busy with the children. It's just fitting it in with the other ladies. When I first met Alastair, I came across that he was really unintimidating, very calm and easy to talk to. And
I think he inherently understands women, doesn't he?
yes.
I think that's it. He has great empathy with women. I think he very much understands that we don't want someone who's going to stand in front of us and showboat. You know, we don't want someone who's going to demonstrate to us what a fantastic coach they are by saying, right, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you have to do this, you have to do that. It's much more of a, I mean, I've said to him, I think it's more of a holistic approach because he takes a step back and he watches you. And you know he's there, and you know that if you're struggling, he will help you. And then he'll show you, when he feels you're comfortable with that, he'll show you a little bit more. And that's brilliant, I think.
I like the way Alastair, with the first lesson or two, he showed us the important, the grip and how to stand, and then let us get on with it. And by playing, we went round the 9-hole and played a few holes, and then we'd come back, and Alastair had been watching how we played, and he was able to pick up from each of us then, tell us where we'd gone wrong or what we wanted to work on. So I quite like that method of playing, rather than just being taught for an hour and then going home and then coming back to be taught for an hour the following week, not really having had a chance to practice what we'd learned.
Alastair's approach needed the backing of an enterprising and entrepreneurial club. Here's Jenny Holmes explaining how Finn Valley got involved.
So Alastair approached me with his idea that he was going to get more women into playing golf, and he came up with the idea that he was going to do it in groups, and that Finn Valley would offer their facilities so that those women, as part of the coaching session, could use the 9-hole in the golf range as much as they liked in between coaching sessions at no extra charge, and thereby sort of very much encouraging the whole playing aspect of it. I think we were both surprised at how successful it was, and it's a source of great pride actually what he's done with Here Come the Girls, and I can only say that I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be there at the beginning and facilitate it really and be part of it.
I just think Here Come the Girls has just been brilliant. I think virtually every single person I know that's done it probably was maybe thinking about taking up golf or rejoining the game after having been out of it for a while for whatever reason. I know there's been sort of children, families, there's been medical reasons why people maybe haven't done it, and I think it's just been the perfect opportunity for people that maybe were thinking about it but maybe would never have made that leap if it hadn't have been for Here Come the Girls. And it certainly is all about the person that's doing it, Alastair obviously, and the fact that it is all women and there was no previous experience needed. And whether you want to do it for a reason because you want to take it up as a full-time hobby now, or whether you're thinking about, like in my case, something that I'd like to be able to do more of in the future when my children are a bit older and I've got a bit more time. It's just been brilliant.
Alastair would like to acknowledge the PGA, England Golf, the Suffolk Golf Partnership and Finn Valley Golf Club for their support with this project. For further information and workshops on this approach, contact Alastair.